Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Cheryl Carr, your work doctor, and this is the Achieve with Dr. C non-Facebook edition broadcast. And I thank you for joining me today. I'm Cheryl Carr, your work doctor. And if you're not a follower and you're not a subscriber on my Facebook, which is currently locked, I was hacked on the first. I think I know who did it. But I'm still locked out of my account because you can't get a human being to help you with Facebook anymore. It's like impossible. And their systems are so easy to break. So until I can get back in my account, I'm not using Facebook to broadcast. That's okay. We've got other fish to fry. I can't fight with them for too long. It's not like I really like them anyway, but especially because of this, with all the changes they're going through and everything that they're doing as business owners that have a Facebook that's a business, we are being attacked in unprecedented numbers, and Facebook has dedicated no resources to helping us. So just putting that out there for those of you who think I may have blocked you. I did not. My account was hacked. Somebody who had access to my account decided they would block me from it, changed everything, and now I'm locked out and I can't get back on. So, anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I wanted to continue. Oh, I forgot to ask you to like and subscribe so that you get notifications of when I'm doing this broadcast. And that way you can stay on top of everything going on with the Achieve with Dr. C broadcast and the changes that are coming up, because next year is going to be a huge seismic shift. And I can't wait. I'm excited, but it's happening. So, we're continuing to talk about family business as we all get ready to gather for the holidays with the pandemic ebbing and people feeling more comfortable due to certain things that they can take advantage of, to be able to gather with their families again. And because we can still gather after a period of time, I've been dealing with the family issues. Um, I've been dealing with the family issues to try and prepare us for going back into our family unit. The big things to note are that when we go back into our family unit, we regress in behaviors. Many of us default back to our old family behaviors, and those behaviors may or may not serve us well now. So today I wanted to talk about family chaos because that's what a lot of us are getting ready to regress back into. Now, what exactly is family chaos? Family chaos describes the level of disorganization or environmental confusion that your home or your core family unit experiences when they're all together again. It's what you grew up in. And we all have chaos. Every family is dysfunctional and chaotic and has issues. Every family. There's not one that's problem free and everything is perfect. It's just, are we functional in that dysfunction? And have we unlearned some of the behaviors we had in our family unit that may not serve us well now? So, there's a lot of information out about spousal family relationships. There's very little information out about the core family or family of origin relationships, especially as they progress through the ebb and flow of life. That's becoming more prevalent now, and there's more research being done now. There's more therapists trying to help because we've all been locked in together and we've returned to our core family mainly, whereas we used to have a lot of relationships outside of the home. And those relationships were easier to manage because they don't know you or they know the person you are now. They don't know who you were, where you came from, unless you share it with them. So it's much easier to develop a relationship with those people in the now. What's harder is to go back to our families and have a relationship with them based on who we are now, not who we used to be or who they grew up with. Because as long as you're breathing and functioning in life, you have changed. It's an involuntary bodily function. And I like to share this with people. Let people change. And even if that means that new version of them isn't as close or what you want it to be, and all you can do is love them. And sometimes you have to love people from afar. And that's a little hard to do when you come back into the family unit for holidays and gatherings and interactions. It's a little bit harder to do. So that's what we're talking about now, because I want to help you develop an action plan so that you can go back into your family unit and you can show up in a way that is a blessing and that isn't full of chaos and doesn't get sucked back into the chaos and the dysfunctional behaviors that do exist again in every family. Now, last week I talked a lot about regressed behavior, about the fact that when we go back to our family, it is a defense mechanism to default back to whoever we were back then. And very few families like for you to progress. They don't like for you to grow past who they remember and accept or love you as. And a lot of us go regress back to whatever felt comfortable for us then. If you were the silent one in the family, when you go back to your family, you regress back to that, even if you're not that way now. If you're introverted, or the family hero, or the family star, or the family black sheep, we have all these labels, which I don't like, that aren't well. They don't serve us well. They're not good, but it's how we identify. So it's not as problematic as it seems, unless you're incapable of moving past chaos. Now, what is chaos? I just explained it to you. It's the level of disorganization and environmental confusion in the family unit. It's the unspoken dis-ease, dislike, disdain, refusal to let somebody be who they are, control issues. There's a lot of past recurrence and bringing up the past in the family chaos. That's one of the main things that I would love to address as far as your homework, and as far as if I can help with anything in helping you to, one, become comfortable with the fact that your family is who they are and you're not responsible to change them. You can only change yourself. Your circle of control is you. And when you go into a chaotic family environment, you don't have to regress. You can choose to show up in a way that serves you better for now. And this is a lot of psychobabble, I know, but I don't like telling you what you should do without telling you how to do it. So, regressing and improving your behaviors so that you don't go back to the chaos that exists in most of our families, especially during the holiday, especially during a time where we've all come back together after much um, traumatic and loss, a lot of trauma, a lot of loss, a lot of disorganization, a lot of inability to even um, uh, bury our loved ones. We've had illness where we couldn't even see our loved ones. We've lost jobs, we've lost homes, we've lost a lot in this pandemic. So when we come back together, there's a lot of undercurrent of emotions. A lot of people have developed dysfunctional coping mechanisms, and they're not getting help for their post traumatic stress that they've experienced during the pandemic. People's nerves are on edge. People may resort to self medication with alcohol or sex or shopping or anger. Some people are addicted to anger. And a lot of people right now are addicted to the chaos that exists in society right now. And it's really easy to get sucked into. What's harder is to retrain, heal your brain, heal your emotions, get help, and show up differently for yourself and for those you love. So that's what I want to introduce to you today. Refuse the chaos of your family that was, even the chaos that has existed with the differing of opinions about how to handle the COVID, how to handle what you can do when you want to make a choice about your own body, and how to deal with all of that requires a refusal to go back to your family chaos. It requires a decision that this time you're going to show up differently, and you're going to do your own homework and your own internal work so that you don't resort to any type of chaos and chaotic behaviors, because it's so easy to do right now, because that's the atmosphere, that's the current. Being aggressive, being a poor communicator, being a social broadcaster, um, believing you have the right to share how you feel. Every emotion does not need to be expressed. But for some reason, right now, we're in that mode in society because a lot has to do with social media giving us ears to hear us. So, how do you do this? And I've talked for the last several months about self talk, mindset, behavior, and habit control, finding your joy again. Because one of the things that has happened to us as we've all been collectively traumatized is our ability to experience pleasure, joy, happiness, all of those things has diminished greatly. So, because of that, we all need to learn new coping skills, new ways of demonstrating behaviors when we're interpersonal or we're dealing with other people, so that our post traumatic stress doesn't pour over into anger, miscommunication, disinformation, mistreatment, um, and self righteousness. There's so much going on of just audacity and offensive behaviors, and thinking you have a right to know something about someone that isn't your right. It's not your right to know. Those things need to go back being private. Our health status, those things only need to be shared with those people we can directly impact through bodily fluids and exchange of things. And that is your family unit. But there's a way to talk about what you've done that gives other people the right to make their own decisions, and be okay with that. It may not be what you would do. But here's the thing. When I taught about mindset, I taught you a lot to remember they're not you. Everybody doesn't think like you. Everybody doesn't want to be like you are. And where we run into chaos is when we try to enforce that thought process, that mindset on other people, especially our family. So, homework assignment. Can you decide who you want to show up as in your family unit? Now, if you're the troublemaker, this talk ain't for you because you're going to show up and be the troublemaker. That's just what you do. And I'm not talking to you because that's some narcissism and some out of control behavior that I can't do a simple 30-minute show and impact. So, what I would love for you to do, and we'll talk some more about it, is one, look at who you want to show up as in your family unit. Who are you now? Do you know? And how do you want to communicate and express emotion, love, and all of that? Pre-decide. I promise you, if you have a game plan, when that aunt walks up to you and says, "Oh, you gained weight," or that uncle asks you, "Girl, you still single?" You know, all the things that happen when we get together. Or did you do this with the relation to COVID or not? Do you wear masks? Do you, all the things we are going to encounter? How do you want to respond? Make a decision. Next week, we're going to talk about some of the decisions you can make, some of the consequences of those decisions, and how you can either contribute to family chaos or not. And I'll give you practical steps on how to do exactly what it is you want to do. Because we're going to talk specifically about your own behaviors and how to modify or change your own behaviors. Okay? This is self coaching information. This is not meant to be diagnostic. It is not offering you psychology. I'm trying to help you help yourself. So I'm sharing information that will be very useful to you. Okay? So that's it for today. I thank you for your time. If you're watching this rebroadcast, please make sure to like, click, and share. And for those of you that can, share it on Facebook because I don't know when I'll get back in, if ever. And I'm okay with that too. But share it so that other people will know. Number one, I haven't blocked you. Number two, I've just disappeared in the Facebook world. They've locked me out. Somebody changed all of my information, and who knows what they're doing with my account. Number two, if you're getting friend requests or money requests for me, or if you see a page where I'm fundraising, it ain't me. That's not me. Okay? I cannot access my account. I'm not posting a thing. Okay? So, I'll see you next week. I'm not sure what the time will be for this next show. As I said, I've started a new contract. I'm doing this particular broadcast on my break. I'm not taking a lunch today. So make sure you click like and share, subscribe, and I'll see you next Monday. Not sure what time. So hopefully you can catch the rebroadcast on the Achieve with Dr. C broadcast. Okay. Take care. I'm Cheryl Carr, your work doctor. See you next week. Don't forget your homework. Who do you want to show up as? It's coming. Holidays are coming, y'all. Okay. Have a good one. Bye.